Well, welcome to this month's Feminine Wisdom Circle, and welcome in all the women leaders and those watching the replay. We're excited to have you join us in this energy, this time where we come and connect as a community, kind of where we let our hair down and we settle into a more feminine space. We remind each other that there is this softer side that we get to practice together. I think it's very rare when women get together to practice being in the feminine together. And Bossy and I are super excited to have you connect to yourselves and connect to us. And Bossy, I know I love one thing that one of our participants had said in the past, which was, we go deep in an hour.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. Welcome, Jennifer. Good to see you and have you here. How exciting.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yay. So today, the way we like to start this out is to set an intention. And we'd love to have a volunteer who might like to read it from the screen, what today's intention is. Is there someone who'd like to raise their hand and say, sure, I'll read it? Yeah, Deborah.
Intention to create a sacred space for women leaders who are steeped in wisdom to access juicy feminine energy and rejuvenate your soul and radiate vitality, reclaim your center, activate your inner guidance, and awaken your creative mojo. Yes.
We love that. Oh, and Holly's here and Alpana's here. So come on up. Just go ahead and accept that request to join as a panelist so you can participate today. Welcome in. So yeah, every month we have a theme and an intention that goes along with that theme. So welcome in for that. And we like to start off with a centering that Vasi's going to do. And Vasi, is there anything else you want to say before we get centered?
I'm just so happy to see some new faces and some people that haven't been here in a while. Welcome, everyone. I love how it's always a different group each time, and it's always perfect, right? So thank you all for coming. So I invite you to put your feet on the ground in a way that's comfortable to you. And if you'd like, feel free to close your eyes. And we're just going to start off with a couple deep breaths. And with each breath, just drop your shoulders a little bit more. So here's our first breath. And then on the out breath, just let go, drop your shoulders. Good. On the next breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, focus on relaxing your spine, maybe any place that you've been holding tension today. It might even feel good to move your spine a little bit right now if you've been sitting a lot today. And the next breath, I'm going to invite you to stretch your arms up and imagine that you're bringing down this beautiful golden white light like a beautiful sun. And you're just bringing that light down over your head, your shoulders, your chest, your heart, your solar plexus. And as this light comes through, it's just letting go of any tension, distraction, busyness from the day and filling you up with rejuvenation, restoration, renewal. Yeah, and as that light continues down through your solar plexus, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your beautiful ankles. We don't often think of our ankles as beautiful, but I'm getting to say that your ankles are beautiful. And your feet and your toes and the soles of your feet, maybe wiggle them. And maybe give a little shake to your hands beside you, like, you're shaking off anything that's maybe weighing you down. Yeah, good. I can feel everyone just letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, anything that you don't need to carry with you anymore. And in this time together, each of us is going to have our own experience, and yet we're all in this together. We're all connected. We're all um, supportive, inspiring each other, and yet we're in our own space. So imagine that you are in a spotlight right now, and we're sitting in a circle on the beach, and each of us is in that tunnel of light. Maybe imagine it as a sunbeam coming down. And then we extend our hand. So imagine that you're holding the hand of the person next to you, whoever that may be, and sending that light around the circle, sending your light, your gifts, your energy around the circle. And at the same time, you're receiving everyone else's. And we're creating, I should say, we're co-creating a space together. And in our time together today, we're going to ask each of you to focus within your heart space on something that you love doing. And this could be something that you've maybe been thinking about doing and it's new, or it could be something that you haven't done in a while and it would bring you joy to start doing it. So sit with that question right now and allow your intuition to guide you. What is it I would love to do? What activity, what experience, what would that be? And there is no right or wrong answer. You can feel free to put your hand over your heart if that helps connect, helps you connect in with what you would love to do. And then just know whatever came to you in whatever way, an image, a feeling, a knowing, an idea, a thought, whatever that is that you love doing is perfect. And we'll get to explore that some more together and go deeper. As Laura said, we go deep in an hour. So we'll go deep into that which you are wanting to open to doing that you love. And then as we sit in the circle of light that we've created, at the center of our circle is the word create. That is our theme for today. So I invite you to send your heart energy out to the center of the circle, to that word create, and infuse that word with your own definition, your own symbol, your own color, whatever that is. And all that is held within the larger circle that Laura and I create each time, which is about feminine energy. So there's the feminine energy which surrounds us. On the outer edge of our circle is a golden light of feminine energy. So I invite us all to, in our time together, to stay connected to both that hub that's creativity and create, and then that feminine energy that is all surrounding us. And take a deep breath here. Breathe in that light. Breathe in creativity. Breathe in feminine energy. And then the out breath, just become present to your body. And whenever you're ready, we invite you to open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. I felt your energy and your presence.
Always so transformative to take that moment, and thank you for your guidance on that. And we'd like to now get into each of you sharing a little bit about you. So we can all know who's here in the room. One, I'll put this in the chat. Just say your name, location, and what you're up to in the world. And then, how is creativity showing up for you that brings you joy? How is creativity showing up for you that brings you joy? So I'll go first and then we can just go around the room. I'm Laura Rubenstein. I'm here in San Diego. I do digital marketing strategy as well as host these feminine wisdom circles and sometimes retreats for women leaders. And I'm passionate about fueling women visionaries' passions and giving them more visibility and connecting so they have meaning and purpose in their life. Creativity showing up for me, that brings me joy in my ceramics class that I take twice a week. In fact, after this, I go right into ceramics. So that's kind of fun and really allows me to stay in this space of exploration of creativity. So Linda, you were here first. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I love this kind of open-ended, free-loving forum we have going here. So I'm Linda Kurtz. I'm in San Diego. I've known Bossy for quite a long time. I also recognize Deborah on the call. I'm a career coach, and my space has been to help people discover really how to live more authentically. And lately, I've been working a lot more around healing and just helping people discover how to live more authentically, like telling their story, knowing who they are, and building their life around that. So that's been a lot of fun. In terms of creative, I think lately it's food. I said that I wanted to look more at nature, and I just got this connection when we did our little meditation at the beginning at how food connects me to nature because I want to eat fresh. I don't want cooked and canned and processed. I want to take spinach and just eat a spinach leaf and put a strawberry with it, you know. So right now I'm feeling this connection with food and nature and being creative around that.
Thank you. Selena, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Selena Billings, and I am from Mission Viejo, California, not far from Linda and Laura. It's about an hour away. So in South Orange County. And I'm part of a decentralized autonomous organization, also known as a DAO. And I specialize in bridging the gap between technology and trust. So helping people see how blockchain is reshaping finance, business, and ownerships in ways that they might not have imagined. And the way that I have been creative lately is most of the time when I talk to people about blockchain, they immediately assume that I'm talking about crypto. And so when I realized that, I started to reach out to create a bridge, you know, like a blockchain bridge to help people understand that it's so much more than crypto. Like crypto represents like a tiny little part of what blockchain is. And blockchain is literally changing the world right in front of our eyes. And so I've been creating a lot of posts on LinkedIn and sharing them around people and helping them understand how blockchain is affecting different aspects of careers like coaching. In fact, I just did an article on LinkedIn about blockchain and coaching and how it can be very transformative. And the whole objective of blockchain is really unity. And so it's opposite of what people think. People think blockchain is some technology that's just going to tear us all apart or break us down in some way. But the amazing thing about blockchain is it's really designed for us to all to come together. And so um, I'm my company name is Aloha Concepts Marketing, and I like to share everything with love and compassion because that's what the Aloha Spirit's about. And so trying to throw blockchain at people with compassion and love in a way that they can understand it and accept it because it's happening whether we want it to or not. And the more that we can be receptive to it and open-minded to it, the better that we'll receive it. So that's what I do, and that's what I love to do.
Thank you. Deborah, would you like to go next?
I would love to. Yeah. So Deborah Valentina, and I am in San Diego as well. And I have been a coach for a very long time. Actually, this month is my 39th year in business. And when I look back, one of my clients, long-term clients just gave me a new title, and I'm going with it, which is Soul Project Catalyst and Midwife. And that's what I do, is I work with women to bring forth their soul projects and be a catalyst to empower them to make it happen. And lots of times, and what I've been focusing on in the last couple of years is women who want to write either their how-to book or their memoir. I get a lot of joy out of empowering women to write. The name of my business, since we're talking about creating tonight, the name of my business is Creativing. And it's a combination of creative living just into one word. So I'm all about that topic. And personally, when we were looking to see what the picture that came up when we talked about creativity was my watercolor. I've been watercoloring for almost 20 years. And what I notice when I'm not doing it, I miss it, and B, I'm not as creative in all the other areas of my life when I'm not doing that. So I've found the San Diego Watercolor Society, and they have fabulous classes. And so I'm like all about these classes.
Awesome.
That's what I'm doing to feed that yearning.
Awesome.
Happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Jennifer, want to share?
Sure. Jennifer Walsh. I live in San Diego. I'm a director of procurement in the high tech technology sector, industry, whatever you want to call it. How I tap into my creativity. One, I do Pilates a few times a week to center ground. That's kind of my meditative way. And I actually really like art. I actually took a calligraphy class last week because I enjoyed doing calligraphy in school when I was younger. And I like to also do the like coloring and painting. Another way that it feels creative to me is my undergraduate college recently asked me to teach at the capstone MBA program, and it actually went really well. All the students were really receptive and got a lot out of my experience, my talk. So that's potentially opening other ways to be creative in the future for me, I think.
Cool. Thank you. Alpana, hi, welcome back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alpana. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and originally I'm from India. Vasi, the meditation was so relaxing that if I am feeling a little too relaxed, it's probably because of that. It was just so great, and I feel like I just needed it for whatever reason. But I'm a brand strategist, a storyteller, a New York Times published photographer. And also, I have been doing AI headshots that kind of look like these that are fun.
Those are fun.
So, whoops, let me get back to it.
Is
So
that
I
you?
primarily, yes, it is me.
Oh, I love it.
It's a well it's so fitting that we're talking about creativity because creativity is just such a huge part of who I am. I've really, really enjoyed being able to merge technology with art. The headshots that I do or the images that I create, for me, they are an artistic expression. They're not your generic, boring, what you get out of Chat GPT type of things. So I help business owners. I work with founder, CEO, anybody that wants to up-level their image, their brand image. So I also help with brand strategy through storytelling, because I believe stories are really what makes us stand out and stand apart. Then I also help build websites, marketing content, and the AI headshots. One of the things that I'm really kind of passionate about right now, which I've always kind of been, is food. I know Linda talked about food, so I was like, me too, me too. So I actually went out to bring my little demo out here. So this is my salad. So I've been like doing like a lot of meal prep, and I have some health challenges. So I'm a foodie as well. So I love making healthy food tasty. And I try to prep them for several days so that way I'm not like eating, just anything when I'm hungry. So I try to set myself up at least for a few days with food that I want to eat, and I find it pretty creative and fun. So I also spice it up because I can't eat bland food. That's not me. No offense to anybody who does, but that's just not me. So I like to have flavor. I like to combine different flavors together also and have fun with my food. I've also published a cookbook. So that's another sort of fun thing that I've done in the past. But yeah, it's great to be here.
Thank you. Definitely let us know what your cookbook is. That's so fun. Holly, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm having some challenges with my mouse today, so I'm like trying to relearn how to use my computer. Um, so I am Holly Simonette. I'm located in Fredericksburg, Texas, which is central Texas. It's called the Hill Country, and it's also wine country here. And I manage a glass blowing studio, art gallery, and I'm also a knitter and a weaver. So my creativity right now, we also have a 22-acre ranch, and so we're managing the ranch for wildlife, bats, birds, and butterflies. So my creativity generally lately has been showing up with putting native plants in the ground, making things pretty. We're getting ready to sell the property and move back to San Diego. So we've got a lot of work that we're up to and trying to find another glass blower to take over the business and the property so that it can continue to be built upon what we've created here.
Cool.
So,
Lots of creativity going on.
yeah, more than necessary.
I don't know.
But
Can
it's
you ever have enough creativity?
Let's say that.
Well, right now I'm having way more creative thoughts than I have time to implement them. So it's been just started jotting things down in my planner that I need to get to finish up some creative projects before I feel like I can start on something new.
Mm. I think that's better than the other way around.
Well, maybe so. Can also get a little exhausting. I don't know if anybody, I was recently diagnosed with ADD, so I'm constantly going in a million directions.
Mm. That's good that you're noting them then. Doesn't mean you have to
Yeah.
do them. There's like
Right.
holding the energy for them. Yeah. That's
Vasi,
great.
you
Thanks,
wanna
Holly.
share?
So I'm Vasi Huntalis, and I'm here also in San Diego, which at the moment is sunny. Yay, it's been cloudy. What I'm up to in the world is I reconnect visionary leaders with the truest version of themselves so they can make a bigger impact, to make the impact that they came here to make. And I do that as founder of Ignite Your Soul, where I speak and teach and write and coach on helping people go even deeper into their purpose. And the way that I've been creative most lately, and I realized that as I was doing the guided visualization for all of you, because I told Laura before the call, I said, I tuned in, I'm getting nothing. I don't know what we're doing. And those of you who work with me, you know, that's just how I roll. And then in the moment, it's like everything's there, you know, the images, the words, everything. And so I'm being creative with guided visualizations in groups and also with clients. Oftentimes at the beginning of session, I'll get the visualization that is just, they receive whatever they need from it. And that's fun because I'm also a painter, and it brings in, you know, different visual things, but it also brings in sensory because I'm also very physical and very kinesthetic. So I'm enjoying that. And I didn't realize that till Laura asked that question and I tuned in for myself. So that was kind of fun to recognize that. So next, we are going to focus on our feminine power card. And for those of you that have been with us before, well, Laura, do you want to share about how they came about for people that don't know?
Sure. So the deck of feminine power cards is something I created over a period of time where I was really exploring feminine energy. I really hadn't thought consciously about it. And then I kind of awoken to it. And this was before most people were talking about it. It was the late 90s. And I kept getting all these nuggets of wisdom from whether it was therapy or my mentors or a personal growth seminar or workshop or a mentor of some sort. And all these index cards of my nuggets piled up, and they became the feminine power cards. And on one side is the feminine power principle, on that pink side. And on the blue side is the practice. So today's card is create. So some of these principles are really simple, but they're not always easy, or they're kind of deep. And then on the back, on the blue side, you have like, do you all see that star on there at the bottom? They all have a little code. They have a code of what kind of a practice this is. And a star means it's something to do. And the practice on here is do something you love right now. And, you know, it doesn't have to be anything more than, you know, taking a breath and, you know, really enjoying that breath, or it could be hopping in the bath, or it could be painting something, or, you know, just cooking something, you know. So we want to give you permission to do something you love. And that's why I loved your centering today, Vasi, because you really invited us to think about what we love doing, and to also reframe this thing we call creativity, and make sure we all are understanding that you have no choice. You are a creative being. It's, you know, it's just who we are. In fact, women are especially creative. We birth life. We create life. Like that's the ultimate, not even if you haven't had a kid, which I haven't, but we have that source, that power in ourselves. There's something else you want to say to add to this, Lassie?
I would also add that we are channels for creative source. Like we know what it's like to let go, to allow, to create space for something that's bigger than ourselves, however we talk about creativity. And that's what we're going to invite you to do today, is to open to that, even more of that creativity, being even more of a channel for that creative energy to flow through you. And Laura and I both are like big proponents, and I'm sure many of you are too, of how much joy that brings, right? When you open more to your creativity. And yeah, so that's the invitation for today, to step into that space.
And of course, we have a little prompt for you, a little exercise for you, a process, because we want to take this a little deeper and not just leave it at, hey, do something you love, which is important, but let's think about what is that something. So we want you to step into creating by thinking about what is something that you love and want to start doing that would amplify your joy. And joy is so pivotal in our lives. It's subtle. It's almost sometimes discounted, but it is so juicy. And Selena, I really got when you were talking about bringing that energy of love and nurturing, that aloha spirit into your work. It's like when we bring it into our lives, we just amplify its energy for it. So think about something you love and want to start doing, or maybe you are doing it, but you want to amplify that joy through it. And then think about, are there any circumstances that keep you from doing it and doing what you love, or stepping into that energy of creating? And so, you might want to get out a pen and paper and kind of jot some thoughts down around this, and what thoughts and feelings are connected to that. We're going to just take a few minutes to kind of give ourselves space to do that. And then finally, what is a simple step you can take towards that which you love doing? And just let it flow as you think about what's something you love and want to start doing. And you can think out of the box. There is no box. I call it no box thinking. You can reword the question if that serves you better. It's fine. We'll just take like 2 or 3 minutes.
Maybe take another 30 seconds to wrap up. Looks like quite a few people are finished.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good.
And we'd like you to share a little bit. Bossy, do you want to take us through that. I put in the chat. Here's what you can choose to share.
Yeah, and you don't have to share every single question. You could maybe give us a overview or maybe something that surprised you or that was an insight that you had from doing the journaling. And should we do the same order, Linda? Would you like to share anything?
Sure. Took me a second to unmute there. Yeah, so what I put was playing the piano. I don't play the piano. I learned to for a couple of years, maybe seriously 15 years ago, maybe 20. I played for a couple of years and then I let it go. And it's always been like, oh, and I have a beautiful piano. So, and the thing that I could do is call that piano player piano teacher before the day's over. Because that's the
Oh,
only way I'm going to get started is if I have a teacher. I've sat down by myself a few times and set a goal. I'm going to know this song by then. Nothing. So bring in a resource,
that's a great first step. Easy to do. Yeah.
right? Make the call.
And Linda, had you thought about piano before you did the journaling?
I've been thinking on and off about the piano. It's been on and off of my list of things to do for myself, my to-do list. I mean, it's been on for a few years though, right? Like, oh, but I want to learn to play enough by Christmas that I can play for my family. And then this year I want to learn enough by Christmas that I could play Christmas songs for my grandson. So I can play Humpty Dumpty for him and London Bridge, but I want to get a little better than that.
You're going to open your repertoire.
Besides one hand Humpty Dumpty, right? I want to get past that.
Well, that's great. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
And let's see, Selena.
I have a couple things. I have a brand new grandchild coming along. She or he, they don't want to say who, they don't want to know. They want to have it be a surprise because they already have a boy and a girl. So anyway, I want to create a basket, crochet a basket. And it's funny that this should be coming up today because I ordered all the materials, not all of the materials, I ordered some of the materials last night. And it's a way that you crochet with this special cording. And so I haven't used the cording before, but I saw the pattern. Actually, my daughter turned me on to it, and I got really excited about it. So I ordered the cording last night, and then you have to order like a wooden base for the basket, for it to be strong and steady. And then of course a mattress because it's a changing basket. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. It's funny, like I said, I just ordered the materials, and that's one thing. And the other thing is, I want to pick up my guitar again. I used to write songs, and I did that when I was a teenager, and my guitar was crushed somehow at my ex-husband's house. Somehow it was crushed there, and so my daughter and her husband bought me a Fender guitar a couple years ago, and it's just been sitting here. So I really want to do it, and it's hard because if you don't have the calluses on your fingers, then you have to burn them back in. So I've been picking it up, and I've been playing for 10 minutes until it absolutely is in so much pain that I can't do it anymore. But so that's what I'm doing. I love that both crocheting and playing my guitar, and so I'm kind of working on both of those little by little.
Very cool. Yeah. And then that basket that you're talking about, that sounds like something that could be carried through over the generations through family, right?
Yes,
That's really
yes.
special. Awesome. Thanks, Selena.
Mm-hmm.
And Deborah?
Yes. So what came up was watercolor, as I had talked about before. And what's keeping me from doing it is just prioritizing it. It's like I think everything else is important and not that. But when I think about what it gives me, I can see where I need to make it a priority. And then my thought about it, when I think about doing it more, I just feel giddy. I just, I just like, oh my God, of course I want to do this. And so a simple step that I'm going to start tonight actually is that I'm taking an agape frequency factor class, a fabulous class about raising your vibration. And we have an assignment, we have a project to do an art piece for our intention, our affirmation. And so I'm going to start that tonight. And I just want to share my affirmation, which makes me giggle as well, is I live my life full tilt boogie. I'm going to say that again. I live my life full tilt boogie. And that's what's going into an art piece.
I love that you shared that, Deborah. Oh my gosh, the art piece is going to be amazing. Thank you
The
for that.
color that I can see already, lots and lots of color. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay, I love that.
that's awesome. Fun. And let's see, Jennifer.
Okay. Well, when I thought about what gets in the way of doing all things I find fun, creative, and etc., I'd say it would be my corporate job. So, a couple of things. So, plan for my future, like financial freedom. Another thing that gets in the way of is organizing my house and doing just stuff I need to do, get around to, which I have trouble finding the time. So I don't see myself, well, at this point, I'm figuring I need to do corporate America another 10 years or so, but I'm open for that being shorter. So I'll just work towards that retiring from corporate America, planning for my financial freedom and getting my house organized so I can do more of my list of fun stuff that's predominantly around art, but it's also, you know, enjoying travel and friends and wine tasting and concerts and live music and festivals and whatever else I find enjoyable.
Yeah. And is there, and maybe I missed this, but is there one thing in particular that you love doing that you thought of a simple step to take?
Um, I'm still honing in on that. Like I enjoyed doing the calligraphy and the woman who taught, it was first like her side hustle and then she wound up actually like getting laid off and it became like her new job kind of a thing. So I don't know. So I'm just gonna let that ruminate and see what is going to be maybe
Mhm.
the thing, or maybe it's a few things.
Mm.
We'll see.
Yeah. Holding space for creative inspiration.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. And am I pronouncing this right? Alpana? Am I saying that?
Thank you. It's Alpana.
Alpana. Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
I think that was right. So thank you, Alpana.
Yeah. Well, I love how many are art related. That's super fun to hear
Mhm.
all of the creative. This was such a perfect topic. So for me, one of the things, going kind of back to cooking, I really want to explore doing cooking classes, which would be in the form of meal prep. So something that I do anyway, I want to be able to share that. I've had friends who've asked me, how do you do it? Or all sorts of things like that. So I just thought that would be sort of a fun endeavor on a Sunday afternoon, is what I've been thinking. A day when I would spend time cooking anyway, is to invite people into my kitchen and just kind of hang out. So make it sort of about food and conversation type of a thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And
Great.
yeah.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. And Holly?
Well, one of the things that I wrote down about the something I love and want to start doing is advocacy. But then I got to would it amplify my joy? And I realized that it probably wouldn't right now. Um, so if I'm thinking about what would amplify joy, it's to get the creative projects like to the finish line right now so that I can get some other things started. So one of the things that I was thinking is, to get I tend to start doing something else. So a knitting project instead of tying fringe on a weaving project that I'm really close to finishing. I'll start something new instead of finishing the old thing because I've gotten bored already. So that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on tonight and tomorrow night, I think, is tying fringe on woven projects instead of knitting on a new shawl for a friend. So that's kind of good to get that clarified for myself tonight.
Yeah, you'll get to cross stuff off your list, it sounds like.
Get the cross stuff off my list, and the closer I get to putting that collection out, the closer I am to putting a new project on my loom. So
Yeah,
I can do that.
wonderful. And I see Jennifer put in the chat, one simple thing I can do is color in my fuzzy butterfly while I hold space for what is next. Sounds good. And Laura, did you want to share anything before we move on to our creative activity?
Sure. And kind of like Linda, I had an aha of what I could do next with ceramics. We're not going to be taking something over the summer because there's not really a good opportunity to do so here at the college we take classes at. So I was like, maybe I could find somebody who has a pottery wheel that might want to have clay play dates with. So if anybody knows somebody with a pottery wheel in San Diego who might like to do that. Oh, you do? Okay, good. Let me, oh, you, well, we'll see if she's willing to do either clay play dates or we can pay for, that kind of thing. Oh, that's fun. And Opana saying she has a friend of mine that might have a family in Fredericksburg. That's cool. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my thing. So thanks.
Great.
How about you, Lassie?
Well, I think I'm going to use that to lead into our permission slip activity. So, so we've been talking about creativity and talking about what we're going to do, and now we're going to do something creative. How's that? And one of the things I found when I did, and a few of you have been in my creativity workshop. So one of the things I found is that we have to give ourselves permission to make it a priority, to give time, to let go of our inner critic, whatever. There's a number of things. So each of you is going to create a permission slip. So we invited you to bring like crayons, markers, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a pen, that's fine. You can still be creative. Piece of paper, your journal. And for myself, I love painting, and I usually paint with a purpose in a sense. I paint to get clarity on something, or I paint to get guidance on my marketing, do intuitive painting. So for me, what I really love doing is just following the flow, like not even knowing what I'm going to do, not having an intention, not needing to be productive. And so my permission slip is all about how, and Laura, I don't know if you want to share that slide we have and I can step through it, and then I'll show you all a sample permission slip, knowing that each one of you is going to create something absolutely amazing and distinct. So your permission slip can look whatever you are called to do with it. We're just going to give you some sentence starters here. So what do you give yourself permission to do? So for me, on my permission slip, one of the things I wrote on is I give myself permission to be in the moment and the process while I'm painting, to not need to know and have a purpose or an intention for it, to just enjoy it. I'm also giving myself permission to create just for the joy of it, just for the absolute joy of it. I may end up done, I may not end up done, I may end up liking it, I may not end up liking it. So I'm also giving myself permission to not even like what I create. Because when I'm in the moment and I'm going through the process, I'm just giving myself permission just to do it, not judge myself. And I'm also following the energy freely. Like I'm giving myself permission to like, oh, if I feel like grabbing this color or using my hands or whatever it is, just to follow that. So your permission slip, you can decorate it however you want. I'll share with you what my permission slip looked like. I did not do straight lines. Oops, let's see. I give myself permission to, and then I just wrote the things that came to me at all different angles. And I love using symbols. So I also put like symbols. So follow the energy freely. That reminds me to tune into my heart, to be in the moment in the process. It reminds me of how I love to sit in the sun and I'm not thinking of anything. I'm just in the moment. And then down here is, let's see, I'm trying to get from my little name thing. Okay, let go of the need to be productive and working towards an outcome. I have an arrow that I crossed out. So instead of like zoom focused. And then what I did is I colored it with crayons around the edge. I did a little border. If you want, you can do a border. And then I had some kids paint on my table here and I just stuck my fingers in. In fact, there's probably still some on there. And I just painted over and then the crayon kind of repels it. So it's fun. So there's some yellow crayon and then painting. But the most important thing is that it gives you joy when you look at it, you know, that you feel a sense of freedom, you know, when you look at this, of what you're giving yourself permission to, so that you could do more of that thing that you talked about that's created, more of that what you love doing. So we're going to give you some time to do that. Does anyone have any questions about creating your permission slip? Most importantly, have fun and make yourself happy doing it. Okay.
And this may be something you want to spend an extra 5 minutes doing. Since we have only 5 minutes left, maybe we'll let you do that on your own and bring it back next time and let us know how it was, or share it with us in an email and we'll share it. But I loved yours. I wrote down a bunch of yours, Avasi. So feel free to, there's no proprietariness, I think, on that. It was like,
yeah. Well,
be
and
in the
that's a great
moment.
thing right now, since we do just have a little time left, is to jot down anything that's coming to you right now. And I noticed some of you are already writing, but get that flowing, because we're in the energy of looking at what gets in the way, right? That one question that Laura had about what comes up for us. So what is it you need yourself to give yourself permission to be able to jump into some creative activity that you're
So is there anything that comes to you, anyone here, that you want to share, like something you're excited to do with this, you're going to do, you're resisting? Anyone want to share about what this permission slip? Yeah.
I just want,
Thanks, Elena. Yeah, go ahead. Is that Jennifer?
I was Deborah, I think.
Oh, Deborah.
Yeah.
Deborah, go for it.
yeah, I just real quick, I just want to do it. So I've already started.
Awesome. Do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank
I don't know
you.
if you guys, it brought up the song I Want to Be Free. I don't know if you guys.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
I don't know if you guys know that song. I'm free to do whatever I want.
That's great.
Any old
Who
time.
sings
It
that?
just came to me. I was like, oh my God, the perfect song.
Who is
Who
that?
sings that?
Yeah.
So originally the Rolling Stones, but I like this version. It's the Soup Dragons. I'm Free.
Cool.
Yeah. That song
Soup
frees me.
Dragon, and it's called I'm Free.
Yeah, the Soup Dragons, I'm Free.
What a great song to put on when you're doing your permission slip, right? Have that playing.
or you're doing your creative activity or anything. It's like I'm free to be in the moment. I'm free to create. I'm full of joy. I
Yeah,
manifest this. This is great.
that's one, yeah, my favorite songs to put me in that kind of space.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jennifer. Anyone else have something they want to share?
I'll share. I've got mine done. I just have to do it, like create the visual. So I put just enjoy the sound of the piano. Remember, I want to learn the piano. Just enjoy the sound and the feel of the keys. I have a real piano, not an electric. So enjoy the feeling of it, and it needs tuning. So whatever, we need tuning. We're all quirky, right? We all need something tuned about ourselves. So even until I get it tuned, just enjoy. Oh, that was off. Um, and I think what really got me though, one of the things I talked about, or maybe I didn't say, was nature and like connecting with food in its natural state and connecting with nature. And it just occurred to me that what the piano represents is like endless possibilities. You can be a concert pianist. I will never be a concert pianist, and it's okay. But if I can play something better than Humpty Dumpty by December, I'm going to be happy, right? But then when I just sit at that piano, I know that the possibilities are endless. And that feels really cool to me. It's sort of like sitting at a seaside or sitting at the top of a rock that overlooks a beautiful canyon. It's just like the possibilities. And I think the piano represents that for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I hope you all are feeling a little bit more free to create. And we are all creative. We've all been creating, but now there's a little extra oomph of motivation, creativity, freedom. Like Jennifer, I do. I feel like I'm going to go to class and I'm going to be like even more present, like Vasi, you were saying. So we always like to leave you with just a couple of little thoughts here about staying in touch, coming back. Our next session is May 19th. Is that right? I think I'm right.
Yes, that is right. Mhm.
Oh yeah, and not only that, but we have a theme, and the theme is about presencing love and inspiring change. And so Holly, maybe the advocacy stuff comes back next month. If that's for you, you're welcome to come back to that. And
But we'll be in the same city in May too, because
we will
that's,
just before that, the day before, I will see you.
yeah.
That'd be great. And then Vasi offers an unlock your next level of impact call that you're welcome to take advantage of. This is a free session. Did you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, it's a free 20-minute session where we look at whatever limiting belief is blocking whatever it is that you're wanting to create next, whatever that next impact is for you.
And if you haven't gotten a deck of feminine power cards and you want them, you can get them at femininepowercards.com. And I'm developing this really cool session that's coming along very nicely and a lot of fun. It's called the Unlock Your Feminine Influence Code, where we basically do a reading and empower you in a certain area that comes up for you. And you can get that at transformtoday.com/15. It's a 20, but we will do a 20-minute session, even though you're booking 15. So thank you so much for being with us here today. And big hugs, group hug.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Good to
everyone.
see you. So good
And
to
I
see you.
wonder
you
if
so
we might,
much.
I wonder if we might just, as we finish really quickly, just what energy are you leaving with, a word or a phrase? I'll start. I'm leaving with gratitude.
Ooh,
Oh, I'm leaving with joy.
Mhm.
I'm leaving
I'm-
with connection.
Mm.
I'm leaving with excitement.
Mm.
And I'm leaving with inspiration and connection.
Fun loving, calming energy.
Yes, and I'm taking on that inspiration as well.
Mm. Wonderful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you again next month.
Bye for now.
Hi,
you.
everyone.
Have a great one. Have a
You too.
creative one.
There you
Sounds
go.
great. You too.
Create a great one.
Create a great one. Awesome. Bye.